Back on January 16th, Connecticut was ranked 11th in the country, and Seton Hall was also receiving top 25 votes. Neither team has won a game since, but the struggles of the Huskies and the Pirates were overshadowed on Friday when Connecticut announced that Jim Calhoun would be taking an indefinite medical leave of absence. For more on this developing situation, here's ESPN.com senior writer Andy Katz.
The condition is called spinal stenosis, and it's caused Jim Calhoun quite a bit of pain. It took on a new level on Wednesday night after their loss to Georgetown on the flight home from Washington, D.C. The pain radiated down to his feet. He told his associate head coach George Blaney on Thursday that he couldn't get out of bed. Now, they're assessing all different kinds of treatment. Surgery is an option. So right now, he's definitely out for this game against Seton Hall, certainly Monday against Louisville, more than likely next week against Syracuse. And George Blaney said, when I asked him whether or not he's going to make any changes, he said he would. Talked to him earlier today.
I am, so we're going with the three guards and Tyler and Andre. So, we'll play a lot of people. We'll get them in early and see who's working hard.
Those three guards, Shabazz Napier, Ryan Boatwright, and Jeremy Lamb, all part of a bit of a disjointed season. This season started 12-1. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games. And of course, right in the middle of those 3 reasons that we put on your screen is that Jim Calhoun was suspended for those first 3 Big East games. Big difference now is they don't know when he's coming back. Obviously then, they knew he would return. As for Seton Hall, Jordan Theodore is going to have a ton of work on his shoulders because Herb Pope is out with a rib injury. Not even here.
Down Hartford, we are moments away from the tip between 2 teams starving for a victory, Seton Hall and Connecticut. Eamon McEnany along with Andy Katz and Bob Wenzel. And Bob, as we take a look at our one-on-one, 2 sophomores who we treat like veterans now.
Well, Fuquan Edwin leads the league in steals. That's his signature, but he's also going to have to shoot from three-point range. Shoots 42% from there. Without Pope, they're going to need more offense from Fuquan. And of course, Jeremy Lamb, the leading scorer on this team. I termed him as a reticent superstar. Guy has a kind of interesting way about him on the floor, very stoic in his approach. But for them to be getting back into the win column, he needs to do a lot more work.
Fuquan had a double-double when these 2 teams met back in January. A Seton Hall victory as we take a look at our starting lineups and adjustments all around.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Right there, Aaron Jeremy Poore is 6'11". He will start in place of Pope. Mobley, 6'9", loves the outside shot. Theodore will be at the controls.
And for Connecticut, as Andy Katz mentioned, the 3-guard lineup.
Yeah, 3-guard lineup has been used a lot, but Tyler Olander instead of Alex Oriaki, Eamon, that's significant because Olander can make that jump shot from the free throw line and can get it down inside as a good passer to Drummond.
The Husky fans have made the trip from Storrs to Hartford. Jordan Theodore had a good ball game when they met back in January. 19 points all in the second half. Connecticut will be in the home white. Seton Hall in the road blue. Seton Hall in the middle of its longest losing streak since December 2008. We are underway. The Huskies go to work first.
2-3 zone on the part of the Hall. They do extend.
This is Ryan Boatwright. Now Lamb. Napier has been struggling with the shot as of late. Boatwright with 20 on the shot clock.
0 for 7 and 0 for 9 in his last 2 games is Shabazz.
Cosby way out on the ball. Now Napier penetrates. Boatwright knocked away by Jeremy Poore. Fuquan can't keep it in bounds. Connecticut ball with 7 on the shot clock. Lamb to inbound. This is Olander. 5 on the shot clock. Lamb's going to have to let it fly, just like they drew it up.
Full court pressure on the part of UConn. They are better when they are in transition. There's no doubt about that. So they would like to get in transition by being aggressive at this end.
Napier all over Cosby in the ball. This is Edwin. Now Theodore goes to his left. Drummond knocked that away.
Without Pope as their anchor on offense, Kevin Willard's team is going to have to try to find scoring elsewhere. Theodore's going to have to take a large role. And of course, Fuquan Edwin right here with the ball is going to have to get things done.
Fans wanted a violation, but it was knocked away. He misses it anyway. Boatwright slows things up, now penetrates. Right at the big fella, and he draws the whistle.
Boatwright, we've enumerated his situation. Missed the first 6 games of the year, then played, then missed 3 more games. He has electrifying speed at 5'8", and he gets to the paint and can distribute. 6 foot is generous. I think I could post him up.
73% free throw shooter makes the first.
Averages 9 a game, but it's been a disjointed season for him as well. Twice as many assists as turnovers, which is good for point guard.
Connecticut up 5 early. Theodore beats the press.
Cosby, number 4 for Seton Hall, is a shooter.
Theodore gets it again. Mobley sets the screen on Boatwright. And he sets a second screen away from the ball, and he gets called for an illegal screen, so a Seton Hall turnover.
Offensive foul number 2, Brandon Mobley. First personal, second team foul.
There you see Connecticut sputtering, to say the least, offensively. Looking to snap a 4-game losing streak.
Only scored 44 points against Georgetown in their last game.
Been held under 50 in its last 2 games. The last time that happened, 1964. You don't have to go.
You were born.
You don't have to go to the media guide to know that's before the Big East and before Jim Calhoun. Boatwright gets in the paint. The floater doesn't go. Edwin the rebound. Seton Hall looking to get on the board here as we approach the 18-minute mark. And having to adjust on the fly without Herb Pope.
No passes to the interior so far.
Cosby gets rejected by Drummond. This call away from the ball goes against Drummond.
UConn foul.
George Blaney talked about using the 3-guard offense in this game, and they have used that quite a bit during the course of the season. Drummond takes a little seat. The difference in this game so far with George is that Boatwright is taking over the point guard duties. A lot of times Napier continues to be the point guard with the 3-guard lineup, and I think that stifles them a little bit. 0 for 16, he's shooting too many 4 shots in the last several games.
Drummond gets an early rest. Alex Oriaki checks in. Mobley drives off the window. Tip doesn't go. Gets it back. Still nothing to go down for the Pirates. A third chance, he'll go to the line.
Nice stick-to-itiveness by the guys in the blue this time, huh? Pope is gone. Everybody else needs to get a lot more aggressive. When we talk about Herb Pope, he averages 16 points and 11 rebounds for Kevin Willard's team. During the course of the beginning of the season, when they were 15-2, people were thinking he was going to be the MVP of the league. His struggles got more when the Big East season began, averages only 10 and almost 9 rebounds, so a distinct difference between his performance in and out of conference.
He misses them both, so the Pirates can't get off the schneid here at Hartford. Olander looking to dump down, he finds Lamb. Lamb sends it back out to Napier, a quick pass to Boatwright. Ten to shoot. Boatwright calls out a play. Nice look down to Lamb. He'll go to the line.
There are seams in a wide zone defense, and Boatwright finds one. Looks one way, passes the other. When his vision goes out to the right, the defense slides that way, and therefore he can find his man under the basket. Seton Hall is playing an extended 2-3 zone, so seams by the pass or the dribble are available for UConn. And yet still, UConn in good shape right here, 5-0, but they still are disjointed offensively to me. You know, they've taken several shots already in this game, Eamon, that were, in the last seconds of the shot clock, and they're not trying to milk the shot clock at all.
1 of 2 for Lamb. Jeremy Poore with 2 early fouls gets replaced by Patrick Auda as Napier comes up just short of the steal.
Auda gives more offense. Number 33 in blue. Had a great game for Seton Hall in one of their signature wins on the road at Dayton. Had 18 points in that game.
They need offense right now. 0 for 4 from the field.
Yeah, and Auda went through a stretch where he scored double figures in 7 out of 8 games this year.
Edwin gets it back. The floater goes. Seton Hall on the board.
UConn, Edwin.
Quickly the other way. Lamb to Boatwright. He'll pull the trigger on a 3. Mobley with the board.
Defensively, UConn taking turns guarding Theodore between Napier and Boatwright.
The steal by Napier. We're going the other way. Boatwright in trouble. No whistle. Theodore takes it right back. He's got Cosby. Finds him. That goes the lefty off the glass.
Aaron Cosby.
So despite struggling, Seton Hall within 2. Both teams trying to find an offensive rhythm, which has been the theme.
4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row for these 2 teams.
Lamb driving, hits. A different form of zone buster there.
He could be a superstar, there's no doubt about that.
Robbery by Boatwright, and the finish. Picked his pocket clean. This is Cosby. Now Mobley with 15. Theodore takes a long 3. Too long. Lamb goes up high for the rebound. Lamb from way downtown, too long. Theodore looking to push. He's got Edwin. Decides on Cosby instead for 3. Doesn't drop. Olander knocks it out of bounds.
Time on the court.
When you are close to the ground, you can make steals like this and then get up off the ground. Boatwright.
Hall's signature wins this year against its former coach in Connecticut back on January 3rd.
Jordan Theodore played great in the game. UConn got off to a great start, but it wasn't to be. Cosby was 4 of 7. UConn Edwin, 11 rebounds in the game. Jordan Theodore, 19 points, 11 assists. Big victory for the Hall. They had just beaten West Virginia the night before. And of course, they would like to repeat that today.
Here's a look at Fuquan Edwin. Had a double-double in that game. George Blaney, of course, once the coach of Seton Hall back in the late 90s after a long tenure at Holy Cross.
Because of the expansion of leagues in college basketball, we don't get the rematches that we used to. Previous years, you would play everybody twice.
So now Drummond and Oriaki back on the court together here. Auda will go to the line, drawing the whistle. No shooting foul will inbound. Non-shooting foul, tipped away.
With Auda, in my notes, I have written he could do more. This might be a night where he gets a chance to do more with Pope out.
Connecticut ball.
So ball wasn't touched by Connecticut. Thrown away by Seton Hall, so the Huskies get it back.
Freddie Wilson in the game, number 14, had his best game. He's a freshman from New Haven, Connecticut. He'd like to play well in his home state. On the ball right here. 7 points against Marquette.
Lamb took one step too many. Kevin Willard certainly influenced that call.
Travel.
Well, interestingly, with Drummond and Oriaki in the game at the same time, you would think that that is a power lineup. But I think sometimes they get in each other's way. They both play sort of similarly offensively. Not really great post-up players. They like to get the dish from penetration.
Theodore gets a step on Gaffey. Gaffey holds him up. John Gaffney with the call. Our officials, John Gaffney, Brian O'Connell, and Gene Sterator.
I think Giffey is an important player to this team. They need another outside shooter, and he can be that.
Here's Edwin, quick release, knocks it down.
Fuquan, for a good shooter, has one of the most odd shots in the Big East Conference. Watch next time he takes an outside shot. There is no spin on the ball at all.
Right now, Boatwright and Lamb, all the Connecticut offense.
Notice how deep they go into the shot clock unintentionally. A lot of passing with nothing happening.
Now under 10, 8 for Napier. Looking to draw a call, he gets it to Giffey, the fadeaway. Air ball. Theodore leads the Pirates the other way. Penetrates. Drummond reaches in and gets called. So back to Connecticut on the offensive end. Is that Seton Hall defense or just Connecticut not getting in a flow?
I don't think they're getting in the flow. They've been a disjointed team for almost the entire season. And they are not a strong offensive group despite the talent that they have. They're searching to find the right chemistry.
George Blaney coaching his 4th game this season.
Well, he was 2-1 during the time that Jim was out for the suspension. He has a totally different personality than Jim Calhoun, much more laid-back type of personality. And you have to be yourself. When you move over from the assistant seat to the head seat, you can't all of a sudden change your personality, so he's got to do what he does. The kids respect him. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
19th time in his tenure with Connecticut that he has been the head coach. The Huskies 9-9 in those games.
Theodore second in the league in assists at 6.9. He was first at Vincent Council, had 14 assists against Rutgers the other day, pushed him just ahead of Jordan.
Providence getting the home win over Mike Rice's ball club. So Drummond heads to the bench with his 2nd foul. Roscoe Smith, number 22, on the floor for Connecticut.
Theodore also on the bench. Freddie Wilson will be the point guard.
Here's Smith. Harold's Carlos, number 13, on the ball and Lamb. Out and knocks that away. With a forearm in the back.
One of 3 players on Seton Hall's team that played at the Canaris Basketball Academy in Spain. All 3 players from different foreign countries.
We'll take a look at the foreign influence at our halftime report in the Big East right now this year.
A lot of good ones.
Kevin Willard getting fired up for his team to play some defense. Giffey with the ball fake. Oriaki, the putback doesn't go. Strong rebound by Mobley. Wilson pushing. Carlos dumped down to Outa. Mobley for 3.
Nice offense.
Seton Hall goes on top for the first time this afternoon. So even without an interior threat, they're able to play the high-low game and kick it out. 7-0 run right now for the Hall. Giffey looking to end that.
Well, I like the fact that Giffey is getting lots of minutes in this game. I think he's one of those guys that he comes into the game and he only plays a couple of minutes. Hard for him to get anything going. But extended minutes, he will make shots.
The hometown team down by 1. The Pirates on a run. On a 7-0 run has grabbed the lead on Connecticut. Eamon McInerney along with Bob Wenzel and Andy Katz. And let's check in with Andy.
Well, because this is an experienced staff, in this instance, with Jim Calhoun out indefinitely, they were allowed to bump up Carl Hobbs, the former George Washington head coach, obviously a longtime UConn assistant, also played for Jim Calhoun. So he now is allowed to have coaching responsibilities. He was an administrative assistant when he joined the staff. But this is an experienced staff with Hobbs, a former head coach, Glenn Miller was a former head coach at Brown and Penn, of course, George Blaney, a former head coach at Seton Hall and Holy Cross, and Kevin Ollie, the potential heir apparent on the staff.
Thank you, Andy. Boatwright, Lamb, Napier, Smith, and Oriaki out there for the Huskies, and a turnover. Seton Hall gets it back.
Nice trap on the inbounds play for Seton Hall. taking a little page out of the book of Jim Boeheim, trapping out of the 2-3 zone. To me, UConn is not running anything. Guys are not in the flow. They're thinking too much instead of reacting.
Edwin loses control. Smith takes it away.
Lots of rotation with the interior guys substituting, but not on the perimeter.
Napier got himself in trouble. Does someone need to take charge? What do they need to do on the offensive end?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's so many problems for them offensively. It's hard to just pick one thing and say that's what they need to do. Of course, the thing that is best, even when you're in a difficult situation like this, is crash the offensive boards when you're not running any good stuff.
Nice pass to Mobley. That's short. And Smith gets the rebound.
Notice how Napier is giving it up to Boatwright in the break situation.
Moriaki turns and one.
More of this would be a recipe for success for UConn. Nice pass right here, delivers, and he spins toward the baseline and uses his power, which he has plenty of. Now think about this guy last year. He's been struggling this year. And last year could have been the MVP of the Final Four. Played great in the Final Four, was 9 for 12, had 10 rebounds and 11 rebounds in the last 2 games. And this year has not been close to that.
They leave Edwin open, but he can't make them pay. So now Huskies with the lead and the ball. Napier, the throw, the pass knocked away. Might not have been high enough. Napier on Theodore now with 15 to shoot. Carlos open, lets one fly, short. Ten minutes left in the half. Napier with the ball. He'll take a 3. Still can't find the touch.
Nobody on the offensive glass for the Huskies. Quality shot the last time. Carlos with an open 3. They will take that. Theodore conspicuously absent from the scoring column so far in the game. He's their best player with the ball right here.
It's a screen from Jeremy Poore. 10 to shoot for the Pirates. Theodore to his left. Carlos open again. Too long. Tapped out. Who's going to get it? Cosby there with the hustle. Carlos again. Well off. Boatwright breaking down the defense. A step back. Nice pass, but Jeremy Poore wasn't ready for it. Thought he was going to get a chest pass. He went bounce pass instead.
Well, we can see by watching both of these teams offensively why they are struggling and why one has lost 5 straight, one has lost 4 straight. Their offenses are out of sync, erroneous passing, and not making open shots.
13, Carlos.
To commemorate the 30th Big East Championship presented by American Eagle Outfitters to be played at Madison Square Garden, the Big East is counting down the top 30 moments, players, and teams exclusively on BigEast.tv. For more information, log on to bigeast.org/garden30.
How about UConn winning 5 games in 5 days last year? That's got to be up there.
Moriaki kicks it out to DeAndre Daniels. Wilson on him. 3 seconds. So another turnover for the Huskies.
Seton Hall did a great job right there by double teaming and not giving anything up. They doubled, and then they got out of the double and challenged the shooters.
13, Carlos.
A lot of reticence on the part of UConn on perimeter shooting. Nobody wants to take a shot early in the offense. They're trying to be team guys. Nobody has rhythm shooting going on in the game at all. And Boatwright hasn't been able to penetrate to dish to the perimeter either.
Also a team, George Blaney told us pregame, lacking confidence, and certainly that'll hamper your shooting. Theodore on the kick out to Cosby. Wilson keeps it. Carlos loses control. Gets it back with 10 on the shot clock. Cosby takes a three, hand in his face. Outa with the hold.
Well, Carlos has had 3 open looks and then bobbled the ball on the last play. Now, he hasn't played a lot, so, that could be part of his problem right now. But Kevin Willard needs one of those guys to step up and make some shots because he's getting some clean shots. If you were just looking at the offensive execution of both teams, Seton Hall really running stuff better than UConn right now, but missing.
Huskies in the bonus, so Oriaki will go to the line.
For the Huskies, number 34, Alex Oriaki, shooting 1 and 1.
3 on Outa, so a depleted front line already with Herb Pope back home in South Orange. Can't afford to lose Outa.
Oriaki 54% from the line. Outa goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Jeremy Poore will be a little bit more involved in the game.
Huskies up by 3 with 8:08 to play in the first half.
Small lineup right now in for Seton Hall. Tallest guy is Mobley, who's 6'9", but he's a 3-man. They should spread the floor and dribble drive, have nobody in the post. Little weave action, here it is.
Mobley takes the baseline jumper. No one there to rebound.
Again, quality shot, but a miss. This is the part of the game where UConn can take advantage of its size. They're better off just throwing the ball up on the glass and attack with 4 guys because Seton Hall is so small here right now.
Here's Oriaki looking for Smith. Throws it away to Theodore. Daniels held him up, no call. Theodore keeps it himself, attacks. Theodore still looking to get in a groove, but he'll be going to the line when we come back. The Huskies up by 3. Welcome back to downtown Hartford. Connecticut leads Seton Hall by 3. Both teams struggling on the offensive end. More Big East Network games this week, beginning later today at 4. Rutgers travels to Louisville, and DePaul visits Cincinnati at 7 Eastern. At noon tomorrow, West Virginia against Providence. Tuesday at 8 o'clock, Providence goes on the road to take on Villanova, and then Wednesday at 7, the suddenly hot Pittsburgh Panthers travel to Tampa to take on the surprising South Florida Bulls. Check your local listings for all those games as we take a look at the Big East teams ranked in the top 25.
Well, there's 4 of them, and Syracuse, Georgetown, Marquette, Louisville, all playing today. Louisville has shot blocking. They're starting to come together, and the resurgent Pittsburgh, they've won 3 straight after going 0-7 in the league. Trayvon Woodall back, making a gigantic difference for that team. He is the X factor. Had 24 at West Virginia the other day. They could conceivably make the NCAA tournament, if you can believe that.
So back here, Seton Hall without Herb Pope and without a field goal from Jordan Theodore, within 1, approaching 7 minutes left in the first half. Olander checks in for Connecticut. Oriaki muscles his way to the hoop.
3 guys have scored, 9 have played. Oriaki, Lamb, and Boatwright. That's it for the scoring.
Wilson to Mobley. No chance as they double him up down in the block.
No size in the game. UConn should take advantage of it, get the ball inside. Mobley is 6'9", but rail thin.
Not sure if that was a shot or a pass. I think that was a pass to Olander, but the Huskies will get it back.
Strength on the interior. Go there if you have an advantage. Mobley tries to take the charge, but not so.
Here's Napier. Looking at find the hoop, and he does.
First shot he's made in 3 games. Up until that point, 0 for 17.
fans got excited to see that one go in the net. Timeout by Kevin Willard, down 5.
They're all giving Napier high fives and slapping him. Welcome back, Shabazz, to the land of the living. Long pass. He's feeling it. When he can make shots, they're certainly going to be better.
One of the things we discussed they were missing, George Blaney told us before the game, when you don't make shots, you don't have confidence, and that's been a problem with the Huskies recently.
Confidence for both teams is lacking.
Confidence, and we're playing that way. We're playing like we don't have confidence, and that's what we need to get that back. So we need the crowd a little bit today, and we need everybody pitching in.
You mentioned the crowd. They got a little louder when Napier hit the basket. They obviously follow their team. They know he's been struggling lately.
Well, Theodore's been struggling also. They both started struggling at about the same time. Jordan missed a free throw to win a game at South Florida and took that to heart. And I think since that time, he's trying to overcompensate some. Lost the flow that he had earlier in the year.
Lost to South Florida, started Seton Hall on its downward spiral. 5 to shoot for Theodore, takes a 3. Edwin, the offensive rebound, goes right back with it. He'll go to the line. Fuquan Edwin working hard on the boards.
Foul on number 10, Tyler Olander.
Foul go against Tyler Olander.
6th team foul on the Huskies. 23, Fuquan.
George was talking about confidence, and winning breeds confidence. Playing well breeds confidence. You know, we talk about George and UConn's team losing 4 straight. Well, 2 of those games were by 3 points, and 1 of those games was by 2 points. So it's not like they've been blown out of the water or anything like that. However, it's undeniable that the offense is totally out of sync. And so far in this game, it really hasn't improved much.
Edwin misses both. Lamb on the floor now with the ball. And 1 shot, turn it all around for Napier. Roscoe Smith makes it.
That was purposeful. That had rhythm. That's team offense. That's been a rarity for UConn in the last 3 games.
So danger time for Seton Hall, down 7 on the road. Mobley gets called for traveling.
More of this would be good for UConn. The ball moves with purpose. It goes places and you get a clean looking shot.
So now the box score is starting to fill up for the Huskies. More people starting to get involved, and they're on a 10-2 run. Smith to turn around, feeling it. It's a 12-2 run for the Huskies. Another timeout. Sense in this one, getting away from his club.
The defense has been there for the Huskies, and without Herb Pope, there is no anchor offensively for Seton Hall, and that's why we're getting some separation right here.
Attention golfers and club pros, online registration is now open for the 2012 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Log on to espngolf.com to sign up and find a participating course near you. Herb Pope had 16-7 in the loss at Marquette, but he bruised his ribs falling for a loose ball. So they decided, let's make sure we have him around for the rest of the season as opposed to trying to do too much here today.
Yeah, and it's too bad, really, because they need him. I mean, you know, this is a team at the beginning of the year when they were 15-2. Fuquan Edwin, Herb Pope, and Jordan Theodore were the 3 main guys. And if they played great, they were going to win. And if they didn't, they aren't. And that hasn't changed, really. Now, Mobley has become a little bit more of a player, but without Pope in the game, Theodore really is struggling here.
He has the ball. 10 to shoot. Boatwright knocks it away. Who's going to come up with it? It's Napier. Gets it back to Lamb. Jeremy Poore fouls him. Huskies up by 9 with a chance to tack on. Let's check in with Andy.
Picking up on Bob's point, head coach Kevin Willard fully grasped that this team had sort of exceeded expectations at the beginning of the season. He was realistic about the ceiling of this group, knowing that it was very young still in a lot of key spots.
Thank you, Andy.
The defense is fueling the offense for UConn. In the half court, they're struggling, but they're very, very aggressive here defensively. Jordan Theodore really turns the ball over in one-on-one situations, and it happened several times in this game already.
Lamb makes them both. 11-point lead for Connecticut. All of a sudden, there's some energy and excitement in the XL Center. So the Pirates have an answer here late in the first half. Theodore, the spin, gets the roll.
Well, he's going to have to do a lot more of that kind of action in the game. I think Jordan realizes his team needs him a lot. He's trying to be a distributor, but I tell you, he's got to be a little bit selfish in terms of shooting in this game.
Wilson knocks it away, but the Huskies will get it back. .15 to shoot. Smith open. Doesn't go. Oriaki keeps it alive. Napier gets it back. Lamb, catch and shoot. Look at the advantage of Oriaki. And then Edwin loses it to Lamb.
Welcome to Big East basketball, everybody. Everybody gets to the floor.
Certainly no lack of effort.
Alex, keep it alive, my man. That's the way to do things. Quickness, desire, hustle.
And the Huskies up by 9. Center, the Huskies with a 9-point lead, 3:24 left in the first half. And Bob, certainly not the season many were expecting from the defending national champions.
No doubt about that. They've been a surprise 2 years in a row. This year, picked first, they finished 9th. Last year, they were unranked and won the national championship. Take a look at the third team down. Pittsburgh was picked 4th. They're tied for 13th, but Trayvon Woodall is back. I expect them to move up. And the big surprise of the bottom two, Georgetown and USF, 10th and 4th. Now they're 3rd and 4th, especially USF. They are big and solid, and they try to keep the game in the 50s.
So Seton Hall takes over on the possession arrow. This is Wilson. Napier all over him.
23% from the floor and 8 turnovers for Seton Hall.
Carlos looking to knock one down, still short.
0 for 4.
Napier with Lamb and Boatwright in the backcourt. Oriaki and Roscoe Smith up front. Wilson comes out on Boatwright with 13 on the shot. He throws it away. Carlos goes right at him. Lost opportunity. Now Lamb gives it up. Another tied ball. It'll be Connecticut ball. I thought for sure Lamb was going to pull the trigger on that open three.
Well, he's aiming exactly right. He should have. Right here, he's the best player on the team. He's wide open. He passes to a guy who's in traffic. That's just not a good basketball play. I think guys are trying to be unselfish to a fault.
Oriaki turns. Doesn't get it to drop. Edwin with the rebound. Seton Hall hurting itself with the ball. Lamb reaches in, compounds the problem. Excuse me, Edwin reaches in on Lamb.
Edwin leads the conference in steals. Not doing a lot of damage in that area today. Jordan Theodore has 5 turnovers. Cosby, a shooter, has not been involved at all, and hence 15 points in the game for Seton Hall with only 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Connecticut up by 10. Lamb in double figures with 10.
Commonplace. Last games, he's missed 5 minutes total in all 7 games.
Averaging just under 37 minutes a game. So now Theodore. With under 2 to play in the half. All the way across to Wilson. Wilson gets in the paint, gets it to go.
Jordan Theodore is playing the back of a 2-3 zone. Smallest player on the floor. They can shoot from this side and get him on the weak side rebounding.
Napier drives with his left. Up and under, no, but he draws the whistle and will go to the line. Coming at the half, we'll take a look at the Big East international players, and we'll have first half scores and highlights, and we'll get you up to date with out-of-town scores. Fab Mello returning to the floor for the Orange, taking on St. John's.
That is a big, big deal to have him back. He anchors the middle of the 2-3 zone. He and Jang of Louisville and Drummond are the 3 best shot blockers in the league.
Free throw shooter makes them both. He has 4. Edwin back on the floor. Carlos checks out.
Rough day for him, huh?
0 for 5 from the field.
On open shots.
Mobley with an open shot. Short.
Nobody near the offensive glass, right? With Pope out and Outer with foul trouble. Not much happening in the offensive glass for the Hall.
Jeremy Poore on the bench as well as we approach 1 minute to play in the first half.
A lot of guys standing around right now.
Napier takes a long 3, standing still. Mobley with the rebound. Another turnover, Boatwright.
Alert!
Offensive foul. Kevin Willard, disgusted, throws his water bottle.
Brandon Mobley. 30-second timeout, Huskies.
Bad pass by Edwin. Easy steal by an alert Boatwright. And then silly foul in the backcourt on a moving screen by Mobley.
He has 3, so the foul's starting to pile up. Kevin Willard might have to check and see if assistant coach Shaheen Holloway has any eligibility left, although that won't help him on the boards. I don't know. Maybe Grant Billmeyer, another former Seton Hall Pirate.
Well, let me tell you something. If he could put Shaheen Holloway in there, he would.
Would have done it a long time ago.
George Blaney, of course, coached Shaheen Holloway. Shaheen, one of the top players in the history of Seton Hall basketball. Small guy. I think he's the leading assist guy in the history of the school. Assistant coach now.
There's a look at Aaron Cosby. So about a second difference between the game clock and the shot clock as the Huskies will hold for 1, hence the timeout.
Arrow favors Seton Hall to start the second half.
Now they start to run the set. Napier directing traffic with under 10 to shoot. Now 7, 5. Lamb open. Cosby, good if it goes. So a fitting way to end it there with that offensive set by the Huskies, but they'll take it up by 13.
Struggle both ends. UConn in the half court, but their defense was aggressive. And of course, without Herb Pope, struggle for Seton Hall. They can't get any rhythm at all.
An uphill battle for Seton Hall on the road. Let's check in with Andy Katz standing by with Kevin Willard.
Well, Kevin, when you knew you did not have Herb Pope in his double-double, what had to go right for you guys to be up at the half?
Oh, we had to make shots. You know, we got some good open looks early on, but, you know, we're a young team. When we miss shots, we get a little deflated. But I like the way my guys play. We battled. We just got to make some shots in the second half.
So how do you keep them from getting in the lane?
It's tough. You know, we're trying to play. We're trying to match up with them a little bit. We got to do a better job. Again, they've scored a lot off our turnovers. We got to limit our turnovers in the second half.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Andy.
Willard's club with just 17 points. That's the fewest points allowed in a half this year by Connecticut. The Huskies up by 13. Second half underway here in Hartford. Connecticut up on Seton Hall by 13. The original starting lineup out there for the Huskies.
Drummond and Olander, 7 minutes and 4 minutes in the first half, and they were starters. Oriaki and Roscoe Smith played better.
Edwin short on the early three. And the Huskies will go to work on the offensive end. Boatwright gets a step. The runner off the glass is good.
Quickness.
Freshman was ranked as the number 76 player in his recruiting class on the ESPNU 150. Here's Edwin. He gets in the paint. Rejected by Drummond.
Number 53 on the year.
Pirates get back on D, so Napier calls out a play and they run a set.
Watch Drummond on the lob. He stays behind the zone, tries to make the zone extend.
Under 10 to shoot. Boatwright gathers, lets it go, can't hit. Edwin ultimately ends up with the ball. Ticky-tack one on Boatwright. Let's check in with Andy Katz for more on the Huskies.
Well, Associate Head Coach George Blaney told me after the half that he loved the team's energy. He thinks that's the big difference over the last 4 games. And as for Assistant Coach Kevin Ollie, I asked him about how they're going to get those post players more involved. And he says they're going to try to look here throughout the second half to have Olander at the top at times to try to dump it down to get those guys more involved. They've got to obviously command and demand the ball more in the low post.
All right, Andy, thank you. Low post hasn't been a factor at all for the Pirates without Herb Pope. Cosby with the three. Drummond another rebound. Boatwright, quickness again. And he hits again.
Decisive.
Kevin Willard doesn't like the way the second half has started.
The little guy has been the most decisive player in the game, with defense and steals and with attacking the goal.
Paul and Ryan Boatwright came out of the locker room energized for the second half.
He certainly did. Quickness upon quickness and decisive. No messing around. Take the ball in. He knows big guys are in foul trouble for Seton Hall. He's got the explosive ability and the body control. More of that would be good for UConn. 10 points on 4 of 8, and that right-hand column is important. 4 steals in the game led to easy buckets.
Defense to offense for Boatwright. Now it's regroup time for Kevin Willard. The early timeout here in the second half. Down by 17. Again, playing without Herb Pope, and Olander comes up with another steal.
Energy level big time for UConn. When they got the lead, they played better and better. Confidence is flowing.
Napier. Off. No shooter wants to hear that sound. Olander jumps out on Theodore. There's Outa. Picks up his dribble, he's in trouble. Now Edwin. Edwin drives. Dumps it off. Jeremy Poor, the recipient. first 2 points of the ball game.
Willard is trying to get back in the game with a little bit of pressure here. But with 2 point guards in the game, it's tough to get any turnovers in the backcourt.
This is Lamb with 15 to shoot. Picks up his dribble. Olander in the right place at the right time.
You know, I'm watching this, and in a way, Eamon, I don't understand what I'm seeing. On that last play, Lamb comes off the screen, nobody's there, and he's looking to pass the basketball. Hey, Jeremy, you're the best guy on this team. When you make that turn and you got head and shoulders, just shoot it. You're the best shooter. You're the best player. Passing into traffic areas, not advisable. Take a look now. He's going to come off this screen. This is a shot. That's a shot. Nobody's near him, and he's trying to pass into traffic. Now, you don't know whether that's judgment or whether the guy's trying to be a team guy and get other people involved in the game. But part of being a good teammate also is knowing what you're supposed to do.
That's been one of the big questions. An offensive foul on Theodore. Lowered the shoulder and knocked Boatwright back. Without Kemba Walker, who would be that leader? Who would assert themselves? And they're still trying to find that guy. Talent-wise, it's probably Lamb, but
well, everybody assumed it was going to be Lamb. You know, I mean, he's first-team All-American coming into the season. Maybe not ready for that, right? Certainly is a skilled and good player.
Boatwright knocked away to Drummond, the baseline jumper. 6 turnovers now for Theodore as he dumps it off to Auda. Edwin open, the extra pass to Wilson. Clock not working here. Shot clock stuck on 35. Game clock now, it starts to move. So we'll have some free basketball here as the clock wasn't running for a little while.
Officials usually see that.
Drummond doesn't take it this time. He kicks it out to Lamb. Napier gets in the paint. Short. Drummond just takes it away. Man among boys right now. This time Lamb takes it and it's short. Nice crossover by Theodore. Jeremy Poore wasn't ready to shoot. Wilson to Edwin. Easy block for Drummond. No one wants to take the shot. They're making the extra pass.
Hesitance on both teams' part. That's what happens when you lose games and you get 4 or 5 losses in a row. You become hesitant. Hard to break out of that. Easy to say, hard to do.
Drummond puts it on the floor. Edwin brings it up now. Seton Hall, just 2 points here in the second half. Edwin gets a step to his right, rejected by Drummond. That's another reason why they're hesitant. So Auda can't hit the 3. Lamb tips it to himself. Boatwright back to Lamb. He'll go to the line.
Well, we told you that it's been a cold shooting day. 1 for 14 for Seton Hall from 3-point range, 1 for 11 for UConn. So what do you do if you don't have 3-point shooting? You have blocked shots and spacing and get the...
Connecticut leads Seton Hall 36-19 as we take a look at the current Big East standings.
Well, the important thing right here for Connecticut, you can see they're tied with Seton Hall, 14-7, 15-7. You think, okay, Connecticut has got to play the rest of the Big East schedule. Can they make the NCAA tournament? Well, certainly there's a possibility. The good news is that they play Syracuse twice, they play Marquette and Louisville once. So they play teams that are really, really strong teams. The bad news is if they lose to all those teams, they will not have a shot. The good news is if they get their act together and play well against those teams and win some of those games against highly ranked teams, it will be very, very good for their resume.
They wrap up the regular season at home against Pittsburgh, and that could be a big game by March 3rd. Let's check in with Andy.
Yeah, we talked about it at the half. Pittsburgh obviously has those similar opportunities. And in talking to selection committee chair Jeff Hathaway, who's the former UConn athletic director, he said that those of us in the media sometimes declare these teams dead on arrival way too soon because they have opportunities. Now, this is a year where other conferences like the Pac-12 may not have them, but in the Big East, you still do. But we're starting to see teams like South Florida and Seton Hall dropping back to the Pac where I think we all predicted they would be.
All right, Andy, thank you. That's the pros and cons of a conference that's so big. You always have an opportunity, but the problem is you maybe got Syracuse right around the corner.
And then, of course, you also have the Big East Championship to play. And if you're in the bottom 8 in the league, you might play 5 games in 5 days like UConn did last year.
Drummond affects that shot. He doesn't add to his block total of 5, but certainly impacted out of there.
That should have been a shot also. Transition shot. He's a deadly three-point shooter.
Boatwright to pull up, left alone, gets it to go.
A lot of iron there.
Home team rim makes it a 20-point ball game. Kevin Willard burns another timeout. So let's take a look at our Big East leaders, brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in You. See Fuquan Edwin.
Steals per game, UConn Edward and Jordan Theodore. Louisville has 2 guys, Russ Smith and Peyton Siva. Those 2 pairs of stealers are the best in the league. And the most unusual guy on that list is Jay Crowder, who's an inside-outside power forward Marquette. For him to be 3rd in the league in steals is big time. And I'll tell you what, Marquette is a very, very tough team with Crowder and Darius Johnson-Odom. Extremely tough team. They beat Seton Hall in their last game. They will get a good seed in the NCAA tournament.
Seton Hall was winning that game by 4 with just over 13 minutes left when Marquette went on a 12-0 run and really just blitzed them to grab control of that ball game. There's Edwin. Looking to drive on Lamb. Now Wilson gets a screen. He'll pull up for 3. It'll stay Seton Hall ball. About Wilson, you come off the screen, you think you have an open 3, and Drummond comes flying out at you with that long arm. Mobley down low, kicks out to Carlos. He'll take a 3. The shots just aren't dropping for the Pirates. Drummond to Lamb. Drummond spins. Kick out. Good ball movement, Lamb. Smith will take it. Short. It appears that they're thinking and not playing on the offensive end right now.
Well, in basketball, there's a saying, the more you think, the slower your feet get.
Wilson with the spin and the pass to Jeremy Poor. Kick out. Carlos all alone. Shooting woes continue for the Pirates. Lamb in traffic, doesn't go. And for Seton Hall, as we've been discussing, good looks.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're getting quality shots.
Wilson's had enough, but it doesn't drop. Mobley. Carlos again.
And everybody in Newark says, finally. This kid has some ability. Kevin Willard's smiling at that. He's got some quickness. Both teams look fatigued to me right now.
Seton Hall now just 2 of 18 from behind the arc, 8 of 38 overall.
Last year, when everybody got tired, Kemba Walker had another gear.
Drummond to his left. Land the offensive rebound. Boatwright backs it up. George Blaney, sensing the tired legs, has 2 subs ready to go. Drummond in the soft part of the zone, doesn't look at the hoop. Boatwright looking to create. Napier drives, loses it. Smith hustling, and it'll stay with Connecticut. Tired legs, but the hustle's still there. Connecticut up by 17 at home. Connecticut, the Huskies up by 17. Jim Calhoun taking an indefinite medical leave of absence, suffering from spinal stenosis. George Blaney taking over, and this much we know. George Blaney's going to coach Connecticut on Monday at Louisville. It's been the way it's been going so far for the Huskies.
It's been a disjointed year. They started great. Since that time, they're 2-6. Boatwright suspended 6 games. Then he suspended 3 games after that. Jim served his suspension 3 games there, and now his situation with the spinal stenosis. It's really been one of these seasons that nothing can go right. Now, on top of that, last year they had Kemba Walker, who was fabulous, of course, and there's a Jim Calhoun shirt. And the presence of Drummond has caused Oriaki to play less minutes and be less effective during the course of the season as well.
Edwin attacking the hoop. He'll go to the line.
Connecticut foul number 34, Alex Oriaki.
The great thing about college basketball, if you look at the last 2 seasons with UConn, last year before the season began, UConn was unranked and they win the national championship. Florida did that in 06 and Syracuse did it in 03, but it's a very rare occasion. And this year, Connecticut ranked highly because of this outstanding recruiting and how well they did last year, and only one guy gone, and they are out of the rankings right now. So that's the wonderful thing about college basketball. You never know what's going to happen daily.
Also tells you something about preseason rankings, but we'll have that conversation on another day.
Who are those guys? Full court pressure, the trapping variety.
Seton Hall not giving up, down by 15. Napier out to Giffey. Everyone here wanted him to let it fly.
Yep, including me. You know, we see hesitancy out here. We see a lot of guys catching the ball and then thinking what to do.
Oriaki back to his right, and he hits. Barlas all of a sudden feeling it. Short. Good hustle by Jeremy Poore. He'll go to the line.
Number 34, Alex Oriaki. Second personal.
To commemorate the 30th Big East Championship presented by American Eagle Outfitters to be played at Madison Square Garden, the Big East is counting down the top 30 moments, players, and teams exclusively on BigEast.tv. For more information, log on to BigEast.org/Garden30. 30 moments. Could be some good ones left out.
There's 30 moments. There's 30 good moments every year. Forget about for 30 years. Jerry McNamara comes to mind. Ray Allen comes to mind.
Not just because he dropped 39 on one of your teams up the road in Stores. Under 11 to play in the second half. Connecticut with the ball up by 17.
Thanks for reminding me. Oriaki's been decisive in the lane.
Boatwright checks out the shot clock. The spin to Oriaki. Pretty decisive on that one. That's what Boatwright brings. Jeremy Poore to Mobley, open. Gets the roll.
Brandon Mobley, 3.
Another timeout by Kevin Willard. Let's take a look at the upcoming games on the Big East Network. Some upcoming key Big East games. We're talking you're always in it in this conference because you always get a chance.
Well, Louisville is very, very good, and they're playing very good right now, even though they've had a lot of injuries. So they play today, they play on Monday, and of course, Marquette is one of the top teams, not only in this league, but in the country. They're ranked 15th. I think they're actually better than that. The big one Wednesday, Georgetown and Syracuse, and traditional rivalry in this conference. And you got to think if Hollis Thompson is going well, he was absent for a few games and they struggled in those. But with him back, shooting well in his last game, they are very good. And Henry Sims, one of the surprise players in this league, best passing big guy in that intricate Hoya offense. It'll be very interesting in that game.
For more on the Big East, let's check in with Andy.
Georgetown playing Syracuse could be the beginning of the end of one of the great rivalries, certainly in the Northeast. Syracuse head coach Jim Boeheim telling me before the season, when looking at some of those primary rivals, Villanova, St. John's, and Georgetown, for sure they were going to play St. John's because they want to stay in the Northeast and obviously in New York. When they go to the ACC, sort of non-committal on Georgetown and Villanova, and the ACC did announce that they will go to an 18-game schedule. Whenever they add Pittsburgh and Syracuse, they will go to it next season if it doesn't happen. We still don't know for sure when those two teams are leaving, but that Syracuse-Georgetown rivalry, we'll have to wait and see if this is the last time they play at the Carrier Dome.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. Certainly those were some of the first thoughts when across America, and especially the Northeast, it was reported that Pittsburgh and Syracuse would be going to the ACC, those great basketball rivalries. 10 to shoot now for the Huskies. Oriaki can't make the catch. The Pirates running. Theodore to Edwin. Too strong. Lamb to Boatwright. Drum in the mid-range. Nothing but net.
That's an interesting one. Rare for him to take that kind of shot.
His first 2 points of the ball game.
With all the realignment going on in college basketball, I thought I was going to need a chiropractor.
Edwin with a push in the back there. Easy call for the officials.
Seton Hall foul on 23.
Well, here it looks. Houston will be added, SMU will be added, and Central Florida. And of course, Houston, SMU is Houston and Dallas, big television markets. Central Florida is in Orlando, and that will be Orlando connected with Tampa, what's called the I-4 corridor in Florida. Lots of people live there.
Good defense by the Pirates. Theodore gets a step, has a man, but he keeps it himself. Good decision. So Wilson comes up with a turnover, gets it back. Way off. Seton Hall out hustling Connecticut right now, but Theodore stepped out of bounds.
UConn 7, 11, Brian Whitwright. Number 5, Niels Goodbye.
One press, they'll try to trap at half court. Not going to trap that guy.
Oh!
Nice pass, Ryan. You're not going to trap him? Yikes. 6'10", 260, and athletic to boot is Mr. Drummond.
His first basket, not exactly in his repertoire. The alley-oop he's known for. And he completes the three-point play.
Fantastic athlete. When he learns how to become a basketball player, the ceiling is very high for Mr. Drummond.
Theodore gets it knocked away by Drummond. Boatwright gets in the paint, kicks it out to Napier. So they'll regroup. Oriaki the baseline J. Under 8 minutes to play here in Hartford. Wilson rejected by Drummond. He has 7. Boatwright making the Pirates pay for the trap. Drummond, the beneficiary. Connecticut 7 minutes and 55 seconds away from snapping its 4-game losing streak, but to turn it into a winning streak, Bob Wentz, will be quite a challenge as they pack their bags.
I'll tell you what, at Louisville and at Syracuse is no picnic, and then Marquette at home is very, very tough. For the whole remainder of this, let's assume they're 15-7 after this game. The remainder of the year, they've got Syracuse twice, they've got Louisville, they've got Marquette, and a resurgent Pittsburgh last game of the year. That is a very, very tough schedule. Backloaded for the team was last year's national champion.
And again, Jim Calhoun on an indefinite leave of absence, suffering from spinal stenosis. So we're not sure when he's going to return to the bench. What are some of the remedy possibilities for Coach Calhoun as far as getting back and feeling better?
Well, you know, early in the year in November, I did a game up here, and he told me about this. And he said, you know, he was running a lot over the years, and it's a thing that he has to deal with. But obviously, it's much worse now than it was at that juncture. For the players, Andy talked about this before, it's uncertain now. Last time he was out, it was 3 games. They knew he was going to be back. Now they don't know anything. It's uncertain as to what's going to happen. So as that goes on longer and longer, it gets to be more of a drag for the players.
For Seton Hall, its next game is a Garden State rivalry with Rutgers, and they hope to get Herb Pope back on the floor. Mr. Double-Double back home in New Jersey today, suffering from bruised ribs. Injury picked up in the second half against Marquette. So there you see 8 blocks by Connecticut, career high 7 for Drummond, but this is Edwin on the run out, and he finishes.
Drummond has 59 now on the season. Connecticut so far ahead, they're starting to relax, which is not what you want.
Connecticut hosting Seton Hall from the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Eamon McEnany along with Bob Wenzel and Andy Katz, 2 teams struggling, looking to stop losing streaks. Connecticut going without the Hall of Famer Jim Calhoun. Boatwright, oh my, the runner off the window in traffic.
Oh man, you gotta love that.
Edwin the reverse, Oriaki there waiting for him. Napier behind the back. Oh, the follow. Connecticut up by 21. Cosby, catch and shoot off the screen, knocks it down.
Aaron Cosby,
13,000 people were smiling on that last play.
Napier calls out the play. Under 6 minutes to play. Here is Boatwright, and the player of the game so far for the Huskies. Drummond.
The little guy is the best player on the floor in this game. Degree of difficulty, 9 on a 10-degree deal. And this one, nice move, better finish. Andre the Giant, huh?
Drummond takes a rest as Tyler Olander back on the floor. Theodore, good ball fake, but it doesn't drop. Comes up with it by himself to Jeremy Poore. Nice layup. George Blaney wants to take a timeout up by 16. Taking a look at Drummond, I think it'll be interesting to see how he handles the next 2 games against Louisville and Syracuse. Their front line's pretty impressive as well. So we take a look at the upcoming Big East Network games this week. Beginning later today at 4 Eastern, Rutgers. Speaking of Louisville, Rutgers goes to take on the Cardinals. Then DePaul visits Cincinnati at noon tomorrow. West Virginia against Ed Cooley's Providence Friars. Tuesday at 8, the Friars go on the road to Philadelphia to take on Villanova. Then Wednesday at 7 Eastern, the resurgent Pitt Panthers take on the surprising South Florida Bulls. Let's check in with Andy Katz.
Bob Huggins coaching, of course, that West Virginia team, and this has been a very difficult week for Bob Huggins and a number of coaches in the college basketball community. Charlie Spoonhour passed away at the age of 72 after battling a lung condition, and I spoke with Huggs earlier this week. He was extremely close to Spoon, referred to him as his big brother, and it's been a very, very difficult week. Obviously on the court, West Virginia struggled with that loss this past Saturday to Syracuse. Had a bad week in the middle of the week, but Huggs really taking the passing of Charlie Spoonhour very difficult. And I'll tell you, my dealings with him, he was always a class act, a great character of the game, and I know he'll be tremendously missed.
Well, he was also in the coaching circles one of the funniest guys you'd ever want to be around, and absolutely a delight to be around in social situations, conventions, the whole thing. And you're right, he will be missed.
New shot clock for the Huskies. 4 fouls now on Aaron Jeremy Poor. Here's Boatwright. Napier with the head fake. Ariaki couldn't catch the pass, so now 15 on the shot clock for the Huskies. Mobley read that one well. The lead pass to Theodore. That'll be goaltending.
Goaltending. Basket, Jordan Theodore.
How many goaltends you think a guy 6 feet tall is going to have in his career?
Another turnover by the Huskies.
Huskies are playing lazy basketball right now.
Certainly,
Whether it's fatigue or they're so far ahead they've lost interest.
be a combination of both. Mentally, they might have put this one in the win column already. 8 turnovers this half for Lamb and the Huskies. None there, though. Cosby the pull-up for 3. Too strong.
That shot by Lamb in transition is something Connecticut, in my opinion, needs to do more of to get out of this sort of offensive funk they've been in.
Boatwright and Lamb each with 14. Edwin almost added to a steal total. Now we're going to have some extracurriculars. Good job by the officials hustling in there.
Good aggressive play by both guys. No ill intent. Getting after it is what you want. And when you're as quick as they are, you're going to get some contact.
Officials timeout.
He was just clapping. He wasn't walking away from it.
Kevin Willard has just picked up a technical foul. Now Gene Steratore giving him more. Shaheen Holloway separating. We'll have more when we get back. Welcome back to downtown Hartford. Inside the XL Center, Kevin Willard will not see the final 3 minutes and 41 seconds of this ball game from the bench. There you see our official Gene Steratore give him a technical. Shaheen Holloway tries to separate him. He got another technical and he was ejected. Let's check in with Andy Katz.
What's going to happen is they're going to call foul Theodore, then respective technicals on Theodore and Shabazz Napier, and then 2 technicals on Seton coach Kevin Willard. So there will be 4 free throws for UConn. They ejected Willard, obviously, on that second technical. Steratore, I think, initially hesitated because he wasn't sure about the first technical before he tossed Willard out. And obviously, these are for verbal technicals, not for any kind of flagrant foul or any kind of elbow, because there were no punches. They're not going to the monitor to look at it. It's all for verbal technicals.
All right, Andy, also a common foul on Theodore, so there'll be a 1-and-1 situation as well for Connecticut. So first, the 4 free throws for the double technicals on the head coach.
Well, now we have both coaches, head coaches, not here in the building. Shaheen Holloway, who is now taking over for Seton Hall, ironically enough, played for George Blaney when he was the head coach of Seton Hall, and Shaheen Holloway was the star guard there.
I don't want to make you guess, but I'll make you guess. What do you think upset Kevin Willard the most there on that situation?
I think maybe he just wanted to leave the building and get a Diet Coke or something, but I think when it got heated between Napier and Theodore, he thought something should have been called earlier.
He probably didn't appreciate the clapping in the face by Napier, but certainly the common foul went against his guy as well. So Lamb hits 3 of the 4 techs. Now Napier will go 1-on-1. One for number 13.
1-1.
Napier now with 17.
And of course, because after this gets sorted out, you go, the last thing you do is where the play was interrupted so that you continue from that point forward in the game. Usually what happens in situations like this is that the officials usually call a pretty quick foul right after this to send the message to the players that they're not going to stand for anything more. Let's see if that happens.
Napier now with 6. Connecticut in the bonus to the final 3:41. Boatwright picks up Theodore in the ball. It's a 22-point Connecticut lead as the Huskies look to snap a losing streak. And there it is, the quick whistle.
10th foul, 12, Andre Drummond. Third personal foul. Team foul and 6.
New shot clock for the Pirates with 3.5 to play. The bump on Olander.
UConn foul for 10, Tyler Olander.
So now the Pirates are in the bonus, and Theodore will go to the line.
Third personal foul, 7th team foul. 1-1, number 1, Jordan Theodore.
Strong rebound by Drummond.
Well, it's interesting to me that one player can make such a difference in a lot of teams. On the negative side here, Pope is gone, and that really has obviously had a deleterious effect on Seton Hall. On the other hand, Trayvon Woodall is back for Pittsburgh, and that's had an extremely positive effect on that team. So one player can mean a lot depending on the chemistry and the talent of your group.
Olander has 4. Now Cosby to Theodore. Gets a step on Drummond, kicks it out. Napier called for reaching in.
You know, the other guy among that group of guys that have missed some games, you think about Fab Melo, because Syracuse is the best team in the league, and they were able to survive games without him being in there.
That's why Jim Boeheim was so proud of the win on the road at Cincinnati after the loss at Notre Dame, to bounce back so quickly and win in a tough environment.
Yep.
Our In the Net play of the game is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. We gave you a hint there. You have to guess now what it actually is. We gave you a tease. Boatwright gets it across the timeline. Lamb right down Asylum Street here in Hartford. Olander tips it in. Another turnover for the Hall. Under 2 minutes to play. And speaking of Seton Hall, whether they get Herb Pope back or not, they certainly want him for Rutgers, because as you know, that's not only a bragging rights game, but which team is really on its way back here in the Big East?
Yeah, and Rutgers has been up and down, and it's because they have 3 guards who are all freshmen handling the ball and doing most of the damage.
Speaking of a freshman handling the ball doing damage.
A lot of great freshmen in the league this year. St. John's starting 5 of them.
The dump down to Mobley. The reverse can't go. Cosby will take the 3. Nails it.
Another freshman.
3-pointer, Aaron Cosby.
Our In the Net play of the game is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Here it is.
And Boatwright is not fishing. He knows exactly where he's going with this play. Boatwright to Drummond. Freshman to freshman. Little guy to big guy. Very, very exciting.
Looks like Drummond's afternoon is finished with 7 points and a career-high 7 blocks. Boatwright still out there. He has 16, and the man with the ball, Jeremy Lamb, 19.
You get the feeling that Jeremy Lamb can score 17 points in a game falling out of bed. He gets them all during the game.
And he does make it look easy. You know it's not
does.
effortless, but he certainly appears to be gliding the whole game.
He's one of those guys that makes it look like that. Wonderful to watch.
Foul on number 22, Roscoe Smith.
So Carlos will go to the line, and a foul on Roscoe Smith. Lamb calls it an afternoon. Gets a hug from Drummond.
Well, only a sophomore. Preseason prognosticators has him as a first-team All-American. He's certainly among the top group in this conference.
Bob, I want to put yourself in George Blaney's shoes. You don't have a lot of time to regroup and get ready to head to Louisville. What's going to be your main theme tomorrow at practice?
I think positive, positive, positive. You know, especially since they got this game done. They got the win that they needed to get. Little hugs right there. He told us that he met with the captains and told them it's not just this game, it's what's going to happen in the next several games that matters most. They brought good attitude even when the offense was not going well in this game. That's what keyed it for them.
There's a timeout by Connecticut as number 1 Enish Wolf gets some playing time. Let's take a look at our Papa John's player of the game, and no question, Ryan Boatwright has been the man for the Huskies.
It was offense and defense, don't you think? I mean, he stole the ball early in the game when their offense wasn't going. He was decisive at the start of the second half when things were very much up in the air. Nice scoring, terrific assists. The steals were very good. And of course, when he penetrates, he can score or he can pass. Drummond loves playing with him. Those two are freshmen in the same class.
There's a foul against the Hall. Intentional, looks like it's the call by Gene Steratore.
Foul number 2, Brandon Mobley.
It's against Brandon Mobley, the freshman out of Georgia.
Well, he clearly pushed Boatwright on that, and Gene Steratore made the right call. Intentional foul, 2 shots and possession. Shaheen Holloway trying to tell guys to use their head. Mobley missed a lot of the beginning of the year because of a shoulder injury, so he's a freshman and still learning lots of things.
So Boatwright adds to his point total, now has 17.
Oh, they're shaking hands right there. I like to see that. A little good sportsmanship on the part of Mobley. Didn't mean to do that.
Brendan Allen now here with the ball, being guarded by Carlos. Freshman from here in Connecticut.
Enish Wolf also in, number 1, setting the screen here.
Ten to shoot. What a fitting way for Boatwright to end his afternoon.
Foul number 1, Enish Wolf.
Whoops.
First personal foul on Wolf.
Wow.
10th foul.
Body control.
For Aaron Cosby, shooting 2.
Try guarding that sometime. You have to feel for Freddie Wilson in isolation there.
No help coming as Boatwright now has 19, and we have seen this afternoon what Jim Calhoun knew he was missing in those 9 games.
Yep, no doubt about that. And of course, early in the season when he couldn't really play at all in the first 6 games, that throws everything out of whack when he comes back.
So Boatwright, the spark plug in Connecticut's losing streak, is history. George Blaney congratulates his former player. The Huskies win big, 69-46.
Well, they needed this badly, no doubt about that. The offense in the half court still a struggle, but the defense was there. Seton Hall without Pope was a big part of this as well.
Up next for Coach Blaney and the Huskies, a 2-game road trip to Louisville and Syracuse. Once again, our final score, 69-46. Connecticut snaps its 4-game winning streak. Seton Hall has now dropped 6 in a row. For Bob Wenzel and Andy Katz and our entire Big East Network crew, I'm Eamon McEnany. The Huskies return home and win big. Boatwright added to the highlight reel with 19 points, 5 assists in 36 minutes. And he came up with some huge steals. For more information on the Big East Network, log on to ESPNplus.com. Lamb with 17 as well. As the Huskies win it, the preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports.